The Weekly Warp Pipe.
What's up, Warp Pipers? Welcome back to another episode. We're diving into games that change the game. We're talking about inspiration, changing the way games are made and played. We got a few on our list we're going to be diving into, so I'm sure you heard a bunch of these and probably have a few suggestions of your own. So we'll be diving into your comments as well. And we're back with another Warp Pipe rental, diving into Ducktales 2 on the NES. Certainly a classic, but does it hold up to the original? And of course, hang out till the end for Wheel of Doom. Falls on a topic that we get into a heavy debate with. All that and more coming up on this week's Weekly Warp Pipe, so sit back, relax, and enjoy some nostalgia. Summertime's here. Heat wave in Connecticut. I don't know how it keeps, maybe it's cold still in Canada, but
it's raining.
It's raining?
It's raining like crazy. We had enough. It was like a lake running down my driveway the other day. It's horrible.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but we need it to put out any of the wildfires we got going on up north. So it's not a bad.
True. There we go. Not a bad thing.
I wish it was raining here.
I think we hit 100.
We hit 100 today. Yeah.
Nice.
Stupid.
About to go completely shirtless.
It's funny because when everyone's listening to this podcast, I'm going to be in Walt Disney World, and it's going to be cooler there than it is here.
Interesting.
So we'll see how that goes, but I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good time.
Are you guys hitting all the parks or just Magic Kingdom?
I think we're going to hit all of them. The last time that we took Kylie, we did not go to Animal Kingdom, so we made sure that we're on that. We are going to do one of the dinners. We're trying to figure out to do a character dinner. We're hoping to get a breakfast that's called Ohana, and that's the Stitch breakfast. So it's been sold out, so we're watching it every day to see if somebody cancels. But we're going to do Magic Kingdom. We're going to do Epcot. We're going to do, what's the other one? Hollywood Studios, formerly MGM. We're going to do all of those. We're going to stay at, I think it's the Polynesian.
Oh, nice.
We're staying at. It's myself, my wife Becky, Kylie, my sister, and Derek. So, so it should be a good time. Nice. We're going for 5 days, so a little vacation. Yeah, it should be fun. Yeah, so that's what's going on.
Short and sweet with Dave.
Well, I mean, actually this week I've been very busy with like editing videos because the video that I put out on Sunday did really well, so I'm trying to keep the momentum going. So I've been working on another video I was going to take a week off because I'm going away, but I was like, you know what? I want to keep the momentum going. So I have another video. It's going to be like 25 minutes going out on Sunday, which is tomorrow after this podcast. So that's that. And I'm probably going to work on another really small one that features Tom Ryan for the following week. So fingers crossed I can get this stuff done and I can get ahead of the game, but I'm kind of motivated right now. So I'm just running with it and seeing where it goes. And we're getting close to Siege. So I've been working on our Airbnbs and our traveling and figuring out what stores we're going to. It's going to be great. I'm so excited.
I was going to say,
meet up with us
with the Airbnb. I wanted to do, we were chatting very briefly in our group chat, but I think I want to set it up so we can go live Friday, Saturday, Sunday from the Airbnb, maybe playing some video games. I don't know what channel we'll use to go live on, whether it be on Rustly, on my channel, or on the Weekly Warp Pipe or whatever, but we'll promote it somehow. But I said I bring my gear, and anyone that's hanging out there, we can certainly play some games and hang out. I think it'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
And we do want to shoot. We're going to do Dave sent me a photo, and he was like, oh, it's been 7 years since we did this or whatever, but we used to shoot MTV Crib style videos when we would go to a convention, and if we had a hotel room, we shoot it like an MTV Cribs, like, what's up guys, welcome to our hotel, like and all the cheesy transitions and music. And I was like, hey, we're gonna be at a freaking house, like let's go all in.
Yeah.
So Thursday when we show up, I'm gonna shoot the full video, and I said I'll post it up on that Friday.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That'll be cool.
We did, how many did we do? Well, we did 2 of those with me, and then you did one with Brian the year that I couldn't go.
Yep. Mhm.
I think, yeah, that second one was really good though. So we gotta maybe repost it on Rustly and
True.
get
Yeah,
some
yeah.
momentum going. Yeah, it was fun.
Nice.
But I totally forgot. That's another big thing that I did this week. Where is it?
Uh-oh.
Oh, right here.
Getting something for us.
Yep.
Oh.
Bought a second Switch
I
dock.
bought a second Switch dock.
Well, Switch 2 dock.
Thank goodness that they sell these because they did not sell these for Switch 1. They did it at the very beginning and then they just stopped making them. And I don't understand why they didn't make more. So other companies made tons of money on third party ones.
Mhm.
I did get a second Switch dock. I've been playing Mario Kart World all week. Kylie has been playing it with me all week. She's really good at it. She loves the free roam, getting all of
Mhm.
the lunch bags to unlock all of the outfits for all of the characters. Dude, it's an addicting game. It is a relentless game. It is wild. I don't
Nice.
know. So I'm gonna bring it to Siege with us, and I know that Alex, who's coming with us as well, he has it, and he's really good at Mario Kart. So there might be some challenges with him because I think only one of our friends has ever beaten him in a race.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, that was majority of my week. It was all Mario Kart and prep for Disney.
Nice.
Nice. A whole party planned for CJ.
It's gonna be fun, man, and you're coming with us the whole way.
I
Well,
will be
most of the
there.
way,
I
not the
got
whole way.
a
He's
buddy.
driving
Well,
separately.
yeah.
Well, once we're down there,
Well,
you got to come to Toy Federation with us. You got to,
yeah.
come out hunting with us outside of
We're
the
we
convention.
fly in at we leave here at midnight or 12:30 on the Thursday morning. So we'll be in Atlanta at like 6 a.m. And then RNG Gamers picking me and my buddy Ryan up there early, probably like 6:30, 7 o'clock, hopefully. And then we're headed that way. So we should be lunchtime ish. Hopefully, we'll be maybe a little bit earlier. We'll be in town and go from there. But I'm staying
Nice.
at a hotel. I'm not staying at your
The first few
empty cribs,
places were definitely
right?
not us. It was like pristine furniture, like white, and then I was like, no. And then Dave found another place. I'm like, yeah, this is more like guys' weekend.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's great too
That'll be
because the
awesome.
place I found. So Keith, there's going to be 7 of us in this house, and it's costing us each $85 for
Nice.
3 nights. So
Right on.
it's great. The girl who is running the Airbnb messaged us as soon as I booked it, and she's a super host, so she has other locations that she does.
Okay.
And I was wondering like why this one was so inexpensive, and it turns out that we are the first people to stay at that Airbnb
Oh,
location.
so we gotta
Oh,
mess it up. Popcorn
so
everywhere.
so she's probably just trying to get some reviews for it, put it on the map, and then so we really lucked out with it. It
I'll
looks
say
nice.
nice.
we're gonna
Looks
be like,
great.
I'll do you one better review. I'm gonna do a full video on it,
Yeah,
MTV Crib
cribs.
style. We'll put a link to it.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun.
Nice. That'll be awesome.
Yeah. What are you up to, Russ?
Just doing a little bit of housework here and there, getting some painting going on. I had to paint and caulk the stairs. There's so much trim everywhere. Some of that stuff like we still haven't gotten to. So I've been trying to do a little bit of that, and we're still Steph's building our kitchen cabinets from scratch. So she
Wow.
has a lot of the boxes of the cabinets, the carcasses, as if you will,
Yeah.
um, made. And so we were hanging certain ones, but then we needed to paint the ceiling before these went up. So it's kind of doing a lot of that. Um, and then what else I've been up to? I actually busted. I'm looking over here to my right. I actually busted out my guitar and wrote a little chorus, and I downloaded GarageBand on my Mac and recorded the chorus, did a little lead part to it, and I was able to send that in a group chat to my old drummer, bassist, and guitarist, and was like, "Hey, what do you guys think of this?" and my guitarist sent back a vocal melody. And he's like, "What about this?" And I was like, "Oh, hey, we could get a new song going." So I ended up ordering a little device that plugs into your computer. This thing here, like a little mixer type thing. So you plug your guitar into this. This goes into the computer, so I could get a little better recording, and maybe we'll try to write a song. So maybe a new Saturday matinee song will be coming out in sometime. We'll see.
Nice. That's awesome.
Very cool.
Busy, eh?
Busy.
Yeah. What are you up to, Keith? There, are you working on
Well,
anything?
we didn't talk about it last week when we did our live, but I don't know if you guys noticed I had long sleeves last week. I know David saw it at the start, but I was in and I got some more color done on the arm here. So the
Nice.
snake is now colored and we're working our
It
way
looks
up.
very shiny.
It is very shiny. It's got some moisturizing cream on it because I'm still healing up. It's been been a week since I got it. I didn't really mention it, but I got tattooed like almost all the way up to when we started. I ran like directly home and got on the computer and got ready for our live last week. So
he's at the chair, just like, and he's like, "All right, thanks.
zapped.
All right, guys, we're on."
Right? Pretty much. I was cruising to get back. So yeah, I got some fresh, tender ink and then worked all week. Been working on a video of some essential original OG Nintendo games. So I was working on that before we started this tonight and work on it for a little bit after and go from there. And hopefully that video will be ready for Sunday. Because I have one for SoCal that's like the build of the convention going from like an empty hall to full and then back to empty, but it's a bit of a lift to get that one done. So I want to make sure I put the right effort into it. So that'll be a little bit.
Do you have a lot of footage for that?
I actually have a fair bit of footage. Like I have footage of like them setting the skate ramp up, us basically walking in the door and there being nothing there, us getting there and walking through the loading dock with like nothing taken out of the U-Haul trailer and all the way to it being so full that when you were walking down the aisle when I was filming, you couldn't see through, like you couldn't see what was coming because there were so many people that you were moving through, right? Because it was so busy there, all the way to vendors tearing down and vendors being out of there and just some empty tables and then me and Ricky cleaning up and leaving. So it should be interesting. It'll be neat to see to show that, right?
So what do we have to look forward to? Like how many videos? What are the videos going to entail that we should be checking
There's
out?
Uno Mas.
There's only one.
Only
No
one
hunting.
for
No
SoCal
hunting.
coming. I didn't hunt. My hunting was very few and far between because I was working. So I was cruising the whole entire time.
But you did get some cool pickups. I saw your video this week. Yes.
And it sounds like Siege. I'm going to get some more cool pickups, David.
There might be a video from Siege. Yes.
There's a box in your house that is full of
there's a
games
box
for me.
sitting right over there. It's right over there. Yep.
Oh, I got this box right here.
Oh. Well, now I want cosmic brownies.
Oh, Keith, I want to ask you. I was I jumped on a live stream last night on my Rustly channel, and I was going through a Nintendo Power a few weeks back. So I have a running list of games that I had found interesting in the Nintendo Power. So maybe I could stream them in the future. And so what I streamed was Wacky Races, and I was curious if you had that cart or not.
I sure do. That one is one that I got. I got it on eBay, actually. It was a semi-local eBay sale that I saw, and I just sat back and I sniped it to the last second.
Nice.
And I remember having that game as or I didn't have it as a kid, but I remember emulating it back on like an IBM computer way back in the day. So I have memories of it. So it was one I really wanted, but it's a pretty cool game. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I never played it ever before. So we went through it and I ended up beating it. And I was like, this is a good game to rent. Like it's fairly easy. They give you a lot of chances to get extra lives and power-ups and stuff. And it, most people would think it's a racing game. It's not, it's a platformer game. And I thought it was really fun, but it goes for someone that told me about $400 loose cart.
Yeah, I think so.
But I have a NES EverDrive with all the games on it. So that's how I stream. Just makes it easier. So I had it on there, and yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, no, it's a fun one. I remember watching the cartoon when I was a kid, so that's why I streamed or emulated it back in the day.
Back in the day.
I remember this one, right? So, yeah,
So
no,
we will
that's really
just say that at Siege, there will be a video between me and Keith because somebody is clearing out some of his NES collection.
cleaning it out, making space for more Mad Balls and My Pet Monsters, eh?
You know, it's funny. It's funny. I was going through the shelf. So the shelf is like right here. You can see all the NES games lined up. But behind them, they go 3 deep and then like 2 up. So realistically, I took all these games off the shelf. You can't tell that they're gone.
Right, because
So
that would set
it's
up.
not
Yeah.
saving any space.
Yeah.
It's only saving space for more Nintendo games, but it's not going to fill in. So
No, for sure.
it is what it is.
Fair enough.
Yep.
So that's what we've been up to this week. All right.
All right, so we're gonna jump right over to our warp pipe rental. This one should be interesting. Hit it, Russ.
Let's head to the video store, grab a game for the weekend. We have the box art and description to guide us when we're choosing what game to rent. So grab your rental card because this is the Warp Pipe Rental.
What game you rent for the weekend?
What game did we rent for the weekend, guys?
We ended up grabbing Ducktales 2 on the
Woo.
NES. Woohoo! I wonder how many people were able to rent this or play this. I didn't get to play this back in the day, just the original one. And this one is another pricey NES game. I will say with the box art here, looks great. I dig it. It's a great scene right there with Scrooge McDuck and a treasure map. You see a armored duck back there. It looks like a wizard. And I forgot the other guy's name, the Scottish guy. Remember?
Flintheart Glomgold, is that?
Oh, maybe.
That sounds right. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
You get a gold star.
Oh, yay. Yay, gold stars.
So it has a little bit deviation
Mhm.
from the first game. They tried to add a little bit more. I guess, you want to change a little bit from the first game to the second game, maybe tweak some stuff. So I'm curious how you guys enjoyed that. I ended up live streaming this maybe 6 months ago or so and ended up going through the game, and I'll let you guys know about that. But what were your guys' thoughts with it?
Go ahead, Keith. You take it.
I actually thought it was pretty good. I do have a copy of it and played it just moments ago for a little bit. And I thought it was pretty good. It's not quite the first one, but it definitely has some good catchy tunes in it. Again, it's no moon level. Some of the things they added were interesting. I like that I could like pull on the little flower and get launched. I liked some of the little tiny things that they changed. I always have an issue with the DuckTales games where when I'm pogoing, I end up clipping just the edge of an enemy or the edge of a wall or something like that, and then he unpogos, and then I'm crashing into something and getting hit. But I thought it was really fun. I'd honestly forgot that you can pick up the ice cream and stuff like that to give yourself health back. So for the first little bit, I was getting my butt kicked until I was like, oh wait, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. But I thought it was pretty good. What about you, David?
I wasn't really into it.
No?
I think it lost a little bit of the charm from the first one. Like the first one's so iconic, right? And this one came out later towards the tail end of the NES lifespan, which made it more limited to buy. I didn't think the music really held up. And I was actually speaking with Tom Ryan about this today, where I mentioned these things to him, and he's like, "Well, it's probably because you didn't play it when you were younger, and so you don't have that kind of like nostalgia to that music and whatever." And I'm just like, "Yeah, that could be it, but I don't know. I just like they added a lot of stuff to it. So
Mhm.
there was things that you would unlock. You would have to get certain things to get 3
Yeah.
different types of endings. There's 3
Right.
different endings in this
I got the
game.
worst ending, yeah.
You got how do you had 0 money?
I didn't find the whatever pieces, like, the extra
Oh,
map
so you
pieces.
got the second ending. So
Oh, okay.
the worst ending is when you get when you finish the game with 0 money, which I think is like an impossible task. Like you should probably be rewarded for that.
Right?
Um, but yeah, the one thing that I did like was I liked the raft, like where you would hit the
Yeah.
raft and then it would like go and then.
Move, yeah.
But there was a lot of just like the first game, there was a lot of hidden things in this, like where
Yeah.
you can jump over walls and go through, which I didn't know at first, but like you can go through the waterfalls.
Right.
So because there's platforms behind the waterfalls. Um, some of the there were a few moments where it seemed like impossible to get through without getting hit.
Right.
Uh, I don't know. I big fan of the first one. This one, it had a lot of the first. Oh, I also felt like the level designs were not as what's the word I'm looking for? There wasn't a lot of variety between all the levels like there were in the first one. Like the
Yeah.
first one, you had like Transylvania, you had the Himalayas, you had the moon. Here, you were all kind of like in one area of the world, and they all kind of similar style levels.
Not quite as creative as the first one was, right?
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
And being a Capcom game, that's another reason why I was a little disappointed with the music because I thought it would be like every track would be a banger, but I
Yeah.
personally didn't feel that way.
I did like the music on the island level, I think it was. I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty good, but that one definitely jumped out at me as one that I was like, "Oh, this is pretty
Mhm.
good." But
Yeah.
it's not the first game, but I personally didn't mind it.
I did like how
What
they simplified the pogo stick though,
yeah.
because now I guess in the first one you had to hit down and then
Right.
pogo, right?
Mhm.
This one you just had to hit B. You didn't have to hit down and it pogoed by
That'd
just
be
hitting
extra.
B.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it simplified a little bit of the controls, and maybe that's because there were more controls in the game where you had to, grab onto the
Mhm.
rings and such like that, or
Mhm.
you had. I did like the one thing that I did like. I mean, there was a few things that I liked, but like one especially, besides the raft, was if you got certain tasks done or found people or rescued people, you would upgrade your pogo stick
Yeah.
in order to hit heavier items. So I
Mhm.
did think that like that little RPG element was pretty cool.
Yeah. Find gyro and then you can pull the bigger blocks or
Yep.
you can
Mhm.
Right,
get the
right.
iron pogo adapter and then you can break the heavier, thicker blocks, stuff like that.
Mhm. I just don't think for me personally it was as fun as the original, and maybe that's just like nostalgia talking, but
Mhm.
that's just my opinion.
I feel like there was a lot of text when you tried to enter the levels. I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
that's just me, but like they tried to put a lot of more like conversation into the when you go from that map screen into it. But
I
Right.
feel like the game was a little bit more directed towards a little bit of an older crowd too, because of some of the things that you would have to do in the game weren't always obvious.
yeah,
Like if,
Okay.
for instance, like there's some puzzle action to it where you had to move a block in order to hit another block that would hit another chest or something. You'd have to pull a block and then hit a block and then so it was like a whole
yeah,
puzzle situation. So I feel like it was maybe a little bit more advanced for advanced players.
I
yeah,
did like this that they added like a little store
Hmm.
option. After you beat, you can buy, a cake, a safe for your money, a continue globe, special energy, or a good mojo doll. So this way you can actually spend your money on something and then just collecting it for a high score. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
it actually has purpose.
yeah,
So I thought that was a little fun thing. But yeah, I mean, I would agree with Dave with it didn't really hit like the first one. And again, we don't know is that because we played the first one hundreds of times as a kid growing up, and I've never played this one as a kid. So playing it now, and you're obviously comparing it to the first one, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I like these changes, maybe, or the soundtrack isn't as good. Like, it was neat that they tried something new, and this could be a fault to the other ones as well. There's a Rescue Rangers 2 that came out. Maybe that doesn't hit as well as like the first one. Who knows? I do see a lot of elements that they pulled from Darkwing Duck if you played that game, because he does have parts where he's grappling onto rings and the platforming, and Uncle Scrooge does that with his cane. So they pulled a little bit from there. And like I said, I live streamed this on my Russ Lyman channel about a year ago, it says. And I did end up beating the game, but I didn't get the best ending because I didn't find all the map pieces, special map pieces in the game. In each
So
level
one thing that
get.
this game also did is, which I thought was cool too, is even if you beat a level, you can go back to that level to find items or pieces that you missed. So you had replayability to go back into the levels to do more searching.
Kind of adventure.
So that's pretty cool.
Right?
You couldn't go back into the levels in the original one.
Right. And I would say this would make a good rental game for the weekend, with having those added challenges and be able to go back. Maybe, Friday you're just getting your bearings going, playing the game, and then Saturday you're real locked in. You're like, all right, we're going to tackle this.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to find these map pieces so we get the better ending, or who knows.
With all of these extra added features, it would have been nice if there was a password system or a battery or something.
Yeah, something that you could save and go back to it, right? Because
there is a lot of stuff to do in this game.
Yeah. Buy
We
those
could-
Mojo dolls, I guess.
Right, yeah, you got to buy the Mojo dolls.
Yeah.
I think we had a few comments with you guys seeing what you thought about this game.
What did you say? What did you say?
Springfield, let's hear from you.
See, we had over on our YouTube community page. Retroholic16 says, picked this game up for my collection about 3 years ago and never regretted it. This game is a blast. It is on the pricier side, but normally the expensive games are not fun, but Ducktales 2 is worth it. And we got Radsternaut. Have had it since the 90s.
Nice.
It's classic. Except my idiot kid brother sold Game Boy version 2005. That's right. You can play this game on Game Boy, and that'd be the cheaper buy if you were going to buy it that way instead of on the NES. You just wouldn't have color. I don't know how exact of a port it is to the Game Boy version. Was there anything in our YouTube reels? Let's see. Shorts here. DuckTales 2. We had one comment, was Matthew says, firing up right now. My Mayo Mini Plus. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's some emulator, but I guess he found a way to play it.
Nice. That's awesome.
DuckTales 2. But who knows? If I said a lot of these sequels, they're trying to do a little bit more, right? They don't want to. I bet you if they made it pretty much the same as the first one, we would be complaining about that. They're like, they didn't try anything new. It's just a freaking they barely tried to make this game.
But on the flip side, they changed everything about Mario 2 and everybody complained.
That's true. But then I feel like now they kind of give it a pass, right? They think it's
not a real Mario game.
Yeah.
True.
I disagree though.
All right, what would we rate this game? We'll go through that. Out of 5.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
Okay.
And that's because it just didn't hit the same way. The gameplay's cool, but I wasn't excited playing it like I was if I popped in the original DuckTales.
All right.
I would probably give it a 4 because I would give the original one a 5. And in my opinion, this one, it tries to achieve that. It definitely stumbles, but it definitely tries. So 4 out of 5 for me.
Yeah. I feel like I'm leaning towards the 4 as well, only because We only had a few days with it. I feel like if I continued to play this game throughout the year, it would grow on me a lot more and enjoy it a lot better. So, not too bad. I'd say still check it out. And again, it's an expensive game, so maybe grab the Game Boy version.
$266.64 loose according to pricecharting.com.
There you go.
A complete copy, $750.
Ooh,
that's crazy.
Spicy.
It's up there
you get
for sure.
You get that nice sweet box art right there.
I mean, I don't think that box particularly is worth the $750 complete, but
I liked using that one because it showed a little wear and tear on it.
Yeah,
okay.
been used. That one's been played.
That's
it was
right.
well loved.
Well loved. What are we jumping into next week for our game?
Well, you guys actually have 2 weeks to play this because I'm going on vacation and we're taking a week off. So when we come back 2 weeks from today, we're going to have a special guest. We'll tell you about our special guest later on in the show, but our special guest has chosen The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And you all know how much we love this game.
Is that sarcasm?
Well, do you remember we had a conversation about, I think it was a Wheel of Doom.
Oh, yes, that came
about
up.
how Ocarina, and we got so much flack for it. So we're going to replay it, and we're going to see what holds up.
I feel like this is good because we get the 2 weeks. I feel like we get 2 weekends with this game. It is a longer game.
Yep.
I haven't played it in quite some time, so we'll see. We'll go back to it.
Russ can get 2 live streams on it.
Maybe I'll live stream it on the Rustly channel. We'll see. Why not? Since we're taking off next week, I can essentially live stream for 4 hours if I choose to.
There you go. Set up.
And this game might appear later in the show today.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
fair enough. Foreshadowing.
All right. You guys ready to get into the quotes this week?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Some fun ones.
Hey, I bet you can't name that quote.
Okay, guys. Do you want the theme this week or not?
Theme me.
Theme you. The theme this week, and don't take it like extremely literal, because these movies can be considered this. Some more than the others.
Okay.
80s action and adventure movies.
Okay.
That is the theme. Are we ready?
Let's go.
Okay. First movie is from 1986. Here we go. I crashed into electrical towers and my star charts were erased. I need the ones in your head to complete my mission. Name that quote.
Crashed into some star towers. My mission.
Any ideas?
Kind of, but not really.
I'll read it one more time. I'll read it one more time. I crashed into electrical towers and my star charts were erased. I need the ones in your head to complete my mission. 1986.
I guess we better play it, Dave.
Play that quote.
I crashed into electrical towers and my star charts were erased. I need the ones in your head to complete my mission.
I wasn't expecting that voice. I guess they're like.
And bonus points if you know who that voice is.
Nothing's ringing a bell with that. I don't know.
Is it Flight of the Navigator?
Yes.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Keith with the win.
Woo!
Bonus
Finally
points
got
if
one.
you know. Well, do you remember the name of the character?
I don't. But isn't does he say like Dave a lot?
Well, Dave is the name of the kid.
The kid, yeah. I don't know. I don't remember the name of the character or the actor.
The name of the character is Max.
Hmm.
Do you want to play the quote again and see if you can get the name of the actor?
Sure.
I crashed into electrical towers and my star charts were erased. I need the ones in your head to complete my mission.
I know you guys know it.
It's got like an effect on the voice, so it's throwing us off a little bit.
Right. But you can hear it.
Kind of hear it.
You can hear it. I
can
just
hear
can't
it.
for the life of me. No idea.
No guesses, Russ?
Bill Murray.
No.
All right.
That is Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman.
Wow.
Would have never guessed that.
Do you hear it now?
One more
I
time.
crashed into electrical towers and my star charts were erased. I need the ones in your head to complete my mission.
I still can't hear it. Nope. With all the effects.
I can hear it. I can hear it. I also did just watch his documentary on Max. It's a 2-parter. Each part is an hour and a half long, so watch it in 2 different nights. It's great. Yeah. It's really good. It's really good.
Nice.
Okay. So
congratulations,
Keith, on numero uno. You ready for number 2? This one's fun. This is a movie from 1989. Someone's getting snacks. I can hear the rappers. Where is he? There. Get those snacks. Here we go. I punched his lights out. Now you want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts. Name that quote. Does Russ know it?
It's so close, Keith.
Does Keith know it?
Oh, no. Maybe.
You'll know it when we play it, I think.
Yeah, play it.
Here we go.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
I don't know if Keith knows it.
No, not a clue. Save me, Russ. I'm calling a friend.
Batman.
Nice.
Not Batman Returns, but the first one. But
that
if
is
you
the name
hear
of the
it,
movie. That is the name of the movie. That is
it.
not the name of the character.
Bruce Wayne
Correct.
says it. But
I was going to try to throw you off if it was Beetlejuice.
I was going to say, if you listen, it could almost be a Beetlejuice quote because Michael Keaton does both characters. Hearing
it does sound like Beetlejuice.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts.
But he's at the party just as Bruce Wayne, and Joker shows up to the house, and he's like, all right, what do I got to do? And he's like, let me just act crazy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good scene.
Good. It's a good scene. It's a good scene. It was not Batman Returns.
That's why I was like, you were close, because if you always guess Batman Returns.
I'm surprised he didn't guess Batman Returns.
Right. I was going to guess Harry and
the one time he does it. I was looking at Harry and Henderson quotes this, but I couldn't find any audio.
I am upset that I missed this week. Dave texted me too late, but they were showing Batman in the theaters.
Oh, really?
Nice.
And I was like, oh, because like the anniversary or whatever came out,
so
I had
35th anniversary, I think.
I think so. And I was like, it's only a 1-day thing, so
yeah, because it was the 35th anniversary 2 days ago. Well, when you're hearing this, it'll be like 4 days ago.
Right.
Yeah. All right, 2 for 2. Let's see if you guys get this one. Let's clear my throat. Here we go. Personally, I like the university. They gave us money and facilities. We didn't have to produce anything. You've never been to college. You don't know what it's like out there. I've worked in the private sector. They expect results. Name that quote.
Come on, Geek.
Well,
at least you got the first one. I'm happy with that. I didn't know that first one.
Play it.
You'll know it with this.
You should know it.
Personally, I like the university. They gave us money and facilities. We didn't have to produce anything. You've never been out of college. You don't know what it's like out there. I've worked in the private sector. They expect results.
Come on, Keith. I believe in you.
Oh, it's Dan Aykroyd, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, half a point so far.
I'm assuming it's like, well, you're saying it's an action adventure, so.
I said, don't take it so literal.
I know, and I'm taking it literal. great outdoorsing in my head, and I can't shake that.
I guess you could consider that an action adventure, but that is not it.
It's a Ghostbusters then.
I don't know. Is it? Is that what you're claiming?
Yes, that's what I'm guessing.
Ghostbusters 1.
Ghostbusters 1. It's literally the first 10 minutes of the movie.
They get fired.
They get fired, and then he's having a conversation with Venkman, and then they decide to go into the ghost hunting business.
That's what I figured. I was super hung up on hearing him as a different character for some reason on that one.
Okay, so it was Ray Stantz.
Yeah,
in Ghostbusters.
Nice.
3 for 3. I took it easy on you guys.
Russ saved me twice.
It happens.
Nice. And now you got to wait 2 weeks for another awesome. You can.
Well, I got 2 weeks to up that difficulty.
That's it. That's it. That's it. He's
We're
coming for
now.
us.
So we're jumping over to Rad or Bogus. We're gonna each have a topic. We'll pick 2 things from that topic. One we're gonna keep because it is totally rad, and the other one we're getting rid of because it's totally bogus. Hit it, Russ.
Bogus. Nice.
Who wants to go first?
David, you go
Meeny,
first
miny,
today.
moes.
Well, can I also add? We got some really good ones last week from the chat.
We did.
So, round of applause for
Shout out to the chat.
Right?
That's right.
Absolutely.
It was super fun, and I can't wait to do it again.
Me too.
Shameless plug. Get those memberships in so you guys could join us for the live podcast. I'll go first, I guess.
Brains.
I have one that there you go. There's information's right there. We'll just leave it up there.
On the screen.
We'll just leave it up there. I picked one that I think might be a little difficult, and now that we're in summertime, it has summertime vibes to it. I
Ooh.
picked toys.
Okay.
So which is rad and which is bogus that gets thrown away forever, never exists? NERF or Super Soakers?
Don't you do it.
Nerf or nothing. I feel like Nerf you get more play out of because you can use it anywhere, right? Whereas Super Soaker, you got to have at least access to some water. You can bring it to a park and run out, and you're like, well, that's it.
I mean, there's always other options, Russ. It's not sanitary, though.
Yeah.
I mean, very sterile, but not sanitary.
So they re-released the Super Soaker a few years back, the Super Soaker 50. And funny enough, NERF, I think, bought it out. So it's Super Soaker by NERF. And so I bought 2 of them, and I did a video on it. And me and my wife did like a Super Soaker fight. And I attached GoPros to each Super Soaker. But this was the time we lived near the beach. And so we were in the water shooting each other, and then we filled it up with the ocean water. And then we're shooting it, and then I think it just ruined the gun. So
that's not
sand.
sanitary at all. It picked up more than
there's little filters in the hoses. There used to be little filters in the hoses right on the tip of the hose.
Yes, it's true.
Right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd like to get an original one.
Mm-hmm.
Again, hey, shout out to Tom Ryan. He has a dope T-shirt with the Super Soaker
and a pin.
He has the pin of the Super Soaker 50, and I think the T-shirt is the one with the double cannons.
Yes,
what was that?
yes.
That was the Super Soaker
150. I think.
150, I think.
Yeah.
I
think it was a 150, and then they had the one with the backpack.
Yeah,
so cool.
But I did have a Nerf bow and arrow that I used a lot. That was really cool, and a slingshot as well.
Oh yeah.
And then, of course, the football, right? Nerf football, tossing that around.
Yeah.
Man, this is
well, they had the Nerf footballs. I had the Nerf bat.
Oh, okay.
So there was that, like the Nerf bat, where you got to, when we were younger, that's what we used in the street. So use the softer baseballs with that. What do you guys think? What's
Like, I feel like they're both like an upgraded version of what was already kind of out there, right? Because we got rid of Super Soaker, we still have water guns because those were a dime a dozen, right? They had the cheap plastic ones you get at the dollar store with a little thing you stuck in the side so you didn't dump the water all over yourself. And then there was lots and lots of dart guns with the little foam prior to that. Some were plastic, stuff like that. Both of those products up the level of everything. But I have so many memories of a Super Soaker, and I have memories of my buddy getting a Super Soaker for the first time. So I'm gonna say Super Soaker is rad because I need to keep that in my life. So sadly, the Nerf is bogus on this one for me.
okay? And also remember, Russ, you had mentioned that Nerf bought him out, right?
Right. Yeah.
Just
Yeah. The
remember
new gun.
this: if Super Soaker doesn't exist, they don't get bought out either.
And maybe they just power through and just maybe they're huge in that reality.
What do you think, Russ?
Although I did have more Nerf growing up, I do feel like Summer and Super Soakers go hand in hand rather than just using a regular water gun. I feel like almost using Nerf's slogan against them. It's Super Soaker or nothing, right?
I mean, you could do it like we did in the '80s and have a hose.
Mm-hmm. Put your
Gotta
finger
have
over
the
it and
hose.
just
Yeah, there you go. You get all the different nozzles right on the hose, man.
right.
That's true. That's true. Here is that design I was telling you guys about
Right.
with
Oh, it's so cool
Super
looking
Soaker.
too, right?
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
T-shirt, right?
Yeah, so that's the t-shirt that our buddy Tom Ryan made.
And I think you can order it on basically any color T-shirt you want.
Yeah. I have it in the closet. I got it in blue. It pops nice.
Does it still have the
Thing.
sleeves on it?
It does currently, but they'll probably be coming off soon for the summer.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go. Oh, go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
if it wasn't clear, I'm going Super Soaker is rad.
Mhm.
Nerf's bogus.
Well, for me, it's Nerf or nothing. So I'm going Nerf. I have way more fond memories of that. I feel like there are other options to have fun with, water. I mean, I think Nerf had so many levels. We also had a golf set. There's a pool table you can get. There's the darts. There's the footballs. I mean, the football with the little whistle on it that screams when you throw it.
That's a good one.
I mean, it's got to be Nerf just because there's way more variety to it as well. And you can get a water gun. You can. You can get the hose. You can get the fire hydrant. Like there's a lot of ways to stay cool in the summertime. But growing up as kids, you also wanted to play it safe and not get hit by a wooden baseball bat or a metal baseball bat or hit the cat lady with a baseball. There's a lot of upside for Nerf, so I'm going Nerf or nothing.
All right. Fair enough. Who's that?
Go ahead,
Well,
Russ. What do you got for us?
I was gonna do movies.
Great.
These could probably be summer movies. Maybe I did just watch one recently. We'll put these.
Was it
together.
Caddyshack?
No, was
Was it Harry the Hendersons?
Was it Batman Returns?
No. These are baseball movies.
Oh no.
We got Rookie of the Year versus The Sandlot.
Oh,
wow, though that's a good one.
So when I went to Disney maybe 3 weeks ago now, and I did end up watching The Sandlot was on while I was there, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen this one in quite some time, so it was nice to go back and watch it. And then it's like, man, I'm getting a little choked up watching this here. And I was like, the
just to be clear, you're talking about the original Sandlot movie, not that stupid.
They made a
sequel
remake.
that they. Oh no, they made a sequel.
Oh, a sequel.
There's
I
two.
know nothing about that.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Just
original
clarifying.
one. Yeah.
The original. Okay.
You're killing me, Smalls.
With squints.
yeah. What do you figure, Dave?
I'm going Sandlot.
Me too.
I mean, I'm going I mean, yeah, Sandlot, man. Like, so many
Like
unique characters. You know, like you got Squints, you got was it Yeah? We got
Ham,
yeah, the Great Hambino.
Great Hambino.
What I do? I just disconnected again.
You're out.
I'm figuring it out.
I would
Sorry.
absolutely. I could do without Rookie of the Year. I could. Like if it was just honestly, it's one that I forgot about until not too long ago, and then I saw it again. I was like, oh, I remember this one. But The Sandlot is a key movie for my childhood. I remember that, and I remember thinking that was so cool. I would have loved to have a tree fort like they had. Sandlot, 1,000%.
I mean, I think there's
Totally that.
characters that we can all relate to, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then like one of my favorite parts is when they're in the tree house and they're making the s'mores, and he's like, "You want you want a s'more?" He's like, "S'more of what?"
Yeah.
And what he say? He's like, uh, what is that? I forgot the line.
Movie quote for next
I gotta get
week.
up. I gotta get up
Yeah,
on my
yeah,
name that quotes. You want some more of what? You're killing me, Smalls.
That's it. Did
And
you
Dennis
see?
Leary's in that movie too.
There was there's like a picture or like a video or whatever of a guy wearing that shirt, and then the actor went up to him, and then he was like chatting with him and wanted a picture with him, and the kid wearing the shirt had no idea like that was the
Oh wow.
guy that played that kid. Like hey, I'm on your shirt.
Was it
Wow.
Squints? Because I know Squints. I know the actor that plays him gets out a lot. And he's still living off of that. Like it's great. I have a Squints shirt that I wear. You've probably seen me at a con wearing it because I wear it all the time. And my daughter, you ask her, and she thinks that that's me on there. So pretty funny.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm going Sandlot,
Russ,
100%.
what would you pick?
Sandlot.
3 for 3 Sandlot then.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
but then you take out Rookie of the Year and you don't have that nice quote that I had a few weeks back when we talked about Daniel Stern when he was talking about hot ice.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
I'd be okay with losing that if it meant I got to keep Sandlot though.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so I went cartoons, and we've already talked about one of them. Talked about it already today. Rescue Rangers, Ducktales.
Oh,
Did we not do this one already?
Those games are gone. Did we do this already?
could do it again.
Do it again.
Rescue Rangers or Ducktales as the cartoon.
Wait,
Definitely
we might have done
watch
this
them all.
already. We might have done this already.
We do it again. I don't know. You choose a different one.
All right, let's pick something. Let's pick 2 more cartoons then.
Tailspin. And
Tailspin and Darkwing Duck.
I knew that was coming. That one I think is a lot more tougher. To be honest. I think so.
I don't know how many episodes of Tailspin I feel like I watched. I know I've seen a few, but I definitely was such a bigger Darkwing Duck fan because obviously he's mimicking Batman, right? So
Right,
yeah.
I was already into Batman, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool!" Like he's basically Batman, but a duck in the
He had a
same
cool,
universe of
yeah,
DuckTales.
He had a cool McDonald's toy as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
have
the intro song was cool.
The
I have
intro song.
what was it? I forgot his name. The Spark guy.
Oh yeah, the little mouse guy. Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
what his name
Yeah.
was. But Tailspin is really good too.
Tailspin also has a really good intro song.
Oh yeah.
I forgot what Tailspin's
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. It's like ooh 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 ooh. And
Oh
then
right,
yeah.
yes. Yeah.
That's
Okay. Well, let me ask you this question real quick, not to get sidetracked, but which is a better game? Tailspin or Darkwing Duck?
Darkwing Duck, hands
Yeah,
I
down.
think so.
I haven't
Yeah.
put almost no that could be a game I could stream Tailspin. I haven't really played that one at all, but Darkwing Duck definitely is
Don't
good.
do it. It's not worth it. It's
Not
totally not
worth
worth it.
It could,
No,
Tailspin's
it's
like
like
all flying, right?
It's all flying. It's a side-scrolling shoot 'em up. style game,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
instead of
But
him
it's
being like
slow.
the plane, he's like sticking out of it, like driving it, and
So it's like the
and when
second
you
level of Super Mario Land.
yeah, exactly. And when you turn, you end up upside down. And then you turn
Yes,
back
I
and you're
remember
this way.
that. Yep.
Yeah,
I've only played it a handful of times. Yeah.
you end up in a baseball diamond for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why,
Mm,
but
it is a tough
Darkwing
one.
Duck. Darkwing Duck is a really difficult game though. So, but
It is. Yes.
yeah,
Well,
you
what are
guys
you going
thinking?
with, Russ? Do you have an idea?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably have to do the Darkwing Duck is better. That's the rad one. Bogus for
Okay.
Tailspin.
I might be in the same boat. I think Darkwing Duck gets the win for me.
See, I messed myself up because we've done the other two before. We need a list, David. We need a list. So,
You can go to the Weekly Warp Pipe on YouTube and watch past
and
episodes of Rad or
past
Bogus.
episodes, rad or bogus. There is a whole playlist of them.
We
I'm
got all the
sure.
plugs tonight, guys. New episodes every Saturday. Join memberships. Get those live streams.
I wonder if we should do. We have the weekly Warpipe rental there where we do movies and games. I wonder if we did a cartoon, but like watch a few episodes for the weekend. Like 3 episodes.
Because
That's a good idea.
there was tapes like that, right? Back in the day, there was tapes like look at the Ninja Turtles tapes that had
Yep.
like 2 episodes on them. So
Yep.
it is for sure possible. Anything's possible. It's our podcast. We'll decide.
That's it.
I still want to
I'm
know
going Darkwing
Keith's
Duck too.
answer, though. What is
Darkwing
it?
Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
Sadly, yeah, Darkwing Duck.
Okay.
Even though Tailspin is really good. Yeah. Has to be.
Sweet.
Sounds good. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Before we get to our main topic, we're going to take a quick commercial break and then come back and talk about games that changed the game.
Lights go down, it's an awesome scene. Let the screen and step away. Watch those shadows dance. With my lightning flasher and my glowing tan, I can catch your shadow and change it, my friend. I can catch your shadow and make it land. Nickelodeon. Flash screen, batteries not included.
Fresh baked bread, piled with extra lean, juicy ham. Oven roasted turkey breast, topped with the classic taste of...
Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon? But of course.
Introducing Subway's new Turkey and Ham Dijon. Turkey, ham, and the great taste of Grey Poupon mustard, now for a limited time on your choice of rolls. At Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
Hey guys, did you know that we're offering channel memberships to help support the show? $1 gets you early access to videos, loyalty badge, and custom emojis. $3 gets you members only live streams, shout outs, and the Warpipe rental employee package. That's going to include a custom sticker, button, and membership card. With the Warpipe rental employee card, you'll be able to choose rentals for us to do on the show, including movies and video games. And during our once a month live stream, you guys will be able to chat with us while we're recording the episode. So consider signing up today to support the show and jump in the Warp Pipe with us every Saturday at 9 a.m.
Yo, what a throwback. Why does Subway not cut the bread like that anymore?
Yeah, right?
I remember when they did that. I had Subway today, actually, and now I want the ham and Dijon.
That looks good. They were cutting it like a V into the
Yeah,
side.
they used
And
to
so it
do
fits-
that. They don't
fits
do that
better.
anymore. Now
Yeah,
they just
that's true.
slice it in half.
They go
And that
down.
I
toy
wish
was
I had
wild,
Subway
man. I'd never
today.
seen that toy.
You never seen that toy before? The
No,
flash
me
screen?
neither.
No. You know what it reminded me of, though? And I'm going to do a shameless plug. But in the video I have coming out this weekend, we find Spy Tech. Do you guys remember Spy Tech?
I don't think so. Maybe
No.
I
They were
haven't
like
seen it.
they were like spy kits, so you would get like glasses or like like a recorder or like look next episode, look for spy tech commercials.
Okay.
It's a fun one.
Cool. Love those commercials there. All right, we're jumping into games that changed the game. We're talking groundbreaking stuff, maybe trying new things, staple titles. What do we got?
Well, I made a list.
All right, I'm going off
I
the dome.
also made a list. Last minute list.
Okay.
He was the only one that did the homework.
I did the homework. I also made because I made the topic. So I was like, I gotta do the homework. All right. I guess I'll go first then.
Okay.
Bring it.
All right. I'm gonna talk about a very obvious one and we'll
Okay.
get it out of the way. Tetris for Game Boy.
Yeah.
Changed the game. It was universally accessible. I got notes here, so I am going to read off the notes. So don't come at me in the comments. It's universally accessible. It had very simple gameplay, simple rules. You make the lines, you go. It's a puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
It has increasing speed as you go from level to level. It's perfected an addicting game.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, there's endless replayability when it comes to making lines. I mean, what was it? Just last year, someone finally like beat the game.
Blue Scooty, yeah.
I say that loosely. I was doing some research on this game, and interestingly enough, they said that it's actually inspired real psychological research for your brain activity. So it's good for your brain. It's a video game. That's good. And it's for all ages. It's portable. You take it on the go. And it had cross-culture success all over the globe.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Started
I mean...
in Russia, right?
Yes, talking about a portable puzzle game that just, for all ages, probably paved the way for endless... I mean, talk about Candy Crush. Talk about... I don't know, all of those
Dr. Mario,
Puyo.
Woods, all those ones that came after it that
Yoshi's Cookie.
It. Exactly. There's a really great movie. That Tetris movie is actually really good to watch.
I haven't watched it yet. We have it. I just got to watch it. But
totally watch it. It's
Tetris,
great.
man, like that totally changed the game when it came to like puzzle games. Because I mean, before that, I think that put puzzle games kind of on the map. And how many puzzle games are there now for your smartphones where you just pick up and go? And it's all the same, gameplay, essentially. You're making lines. I play a game with Kylie on her iPad where we have to do the same thing with like little bubbles to find. You got to get like at least 4 in a row, or you get more in a row, and then it makes a little like bonus thing. And it's a Disney game, so you unlock these little Disney character keychains. And so it's another... I've started to get addicted to it. So thank you, Tetris. You paved the way for all the puzzle games.
Nice.
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm starting. You got one, right, Keith?
I do. I
Go ahead.
can jump in on
Hit
this.
Hit me with it.
Like the very first one.
The very first one. What do we got? Pong?
Very first video game?
Some Pong action that brought those games to your people's houses. And people were like, thought it was just absolutely crazy that they could, play these games just sitting in their living room, hooking it up and using those little controls that the Pong came with and getting to play it. It started it all for the home console. Someone else would have come in with something else, but Pong, simple, easy
to play, accessible, right?
Not being in their house, black and white TVs, all that stuff, and now you got Pong in the house.
It's essentially tennis.
It is absolutely table tennis on
the simplified tennis.
They didn't need to have a table tennis set in the backyard anymore. Go and sit in front of the TV and play it anytime they wanted in their brown slacks and their button-up shirt. You think about the
And
time
they're
that came
or
out. It's
wood
crazy,
wood
right?
grain panels on the walls.
Oh yeah.
Right? Everything's brown and orange in their
Shag
house.
carpet.
Ashtrays.
Oh, shag carpet is awesome. Just drilling darts and playing Pong.
There
That's
you
my pick.
go.
Pong
That's your
changed the
pick.
game. Brought
Okay.
those games home.
Very
I
good.
dig it.
Do you have one, Russ?
How about a little game called Doom on the PC?
That was on my list.
That one
It's on my
definitely.
list too.
I don't know which came first, but I definitely remember playing both of these in I think grammar school. It was we were in the library.
Mhm.
Wolfenstein or Doom. I feel like I played those both very close to each other, so I don't know which one came out first. Even if Wolfenstein did come out first, I feel like Doom made the bigger impact. Maybe
Okay.
because you were killing demons and had really good music, and it was just
Well, I
like,
have some
you had
notes
some
on
facts
it.
on it.
I
Okay,
do have some facts on it.
Ooh.
hit us with
So-
some facts.
Yay, Dave, doing
Doom
homework.
defined the first-person shooter with maze-like levels. So that was, I guess, one of the first games to do it. 3D graphics revolution. At the time, it felt like real 3D when you were playing it. So that was a first. It also, get this, it birthed a massive DIY game community for modding culture.
I could see it, yeah, because a lot of people were doing different Doom levels,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like add-ons and stuff like that.
Yep.
So like you could just continue on playing the game, but it's fresh and new
Right.
and new ideas.
So it revolutionized the modding culture. It also had multi-level death matches, which
Mhm.
laid the groundwork for LAN parties.
Okay.
I
So if it
remember
weren't for
doing that.
Doom, we wouldn't have LAN parties. And I know that Keith has played a lot of LAN parties, haven't you?
I sure have. I remember riding the school bus to go to town because I live out in the country. I remember, I don't know what grade it was, but I remember riding the school bus to town in like June. You know, we're doing finals, we're doing classes are ending. I think I was done classes, and I still rode the school bus to town so I could walk from the school to my friend's house, play Doom in the basement, and we were playing those deathmatch levels. I remember doing that. I remember it being so much fun. So, absolutely, super cool game.
And then the last bit of information I have is that it was very controversial, which boosted all of its popularity.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
So-
they're like, you can't play this game. I want to play this game now.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and that was from 1993. Doom came out.
Yeah, I was in
Yep.
middle school playing it in the school library. Someone loaded it onto the computer.
He was
Nice.
having LAN parties.
right.
So yeah, Doom. That was a very, very good pick. That's what was I? Yeah, because I tried to research, and I tried to come up with a list of games that kind of hit different categories. So I really did the homework. And so the next game that I have is Super Mario 64.
Okay.
Now we can say any Mario is revolutionary, right?
Yep.
But I picked Super Mario 64 because this is the game that took platforming 3D.
Mm-hmm.
So you typically have the left to right to left, whatever, and then all of a sudden N64 pops out with Mario 64, and now you're immersed in a 3D
Right.
platforming
Any which
game.
way you want.
And how many platforming 3D games are there now?
Oh yeah,
Tons.
can't even count. Yeah,
so
that's-
many.
There's way less 2D side scrolling platform games.
For
I
sure.
mean, they're coming back. They're starting to come back. A lot of these smaller indie games that are coming
Yeah.
are throwing it back to that type of
It's
style
true.
of game, right? So,
I do like how when they came out with Mario Odyssey, how they had the 3D, but then they also had the side-scrolling platforms built in
Mm-hmm.
to that game. And they're doing the same thing for the new Donkey Kong Bonanza game,
Hmm.
where they're going to have some side-scrolling levels as well as, or elements of it, and then the 3D, which looks insane. By the way, I watched the like the Nintendo Direct for it. I don't know why I put that in quotes. It's a Nintendo Direct, but it looks insane. So I will be playing that, and that comes out I think the day before Siege. So we might have that for Siege. But yeah, do you guys have anything to say about like Mario 64? Any memories on that? I didn't have an N64, but is it on your list?
Yeah, sure was.
Sure was. Sorry, Keith. Well,
Same reasons you said.
Hit us with another one.
Hit you with another one. All right, I'm gonna go with Duck Hunt.
Oh, that was not
Interesting.
on my
Okay.
list. Yeah.
Because of the light gun,
Yeah.
right? Came out with the Nintendo. We got the light gun with it, and how many gun games came after that? I don't know if it was the first one, but it made that accessible to so many of us, right? All of a sudden, I could buy the action set, get Duck Hunt and Mario on that combo cartridge, plug it in, and start blasting ducks and try to shoot that dog that's laughing at me all the time for missing those ducks. So after that, every single console that came out had a light gun with it, right? There's games that came out with specialty light guns. There's whole big box games that came out with specialty light
like
guns.
Lethal Enforcers or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Oh,
It doesn't beat the
tons of 'em.
Super Scope 6, though.
Right?
Got a bazooka on there.
What about the Menacer on Sega Genesis?
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
So there was a lot of them after it. So Duck Hunt, because it was one of the first ones that Nintendo had that was with that. I mean, there's obviously like Wild Gunman and stuff like that, but it was one of the
Hogan's Alley.
first- Hogan's Alley.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of games that came with it, but Duck Hunt came in that package, and that was the first one that a lot of us played.
But not only that, but that game is technically also co-op because the second controller controls the duck. So, Russ is tired.
Co-op or that's competitive.
We heard it. We heard it. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, Duck Hunt. That's a good one. Drink
Go,
that
Russ.
caffeine. Let's go.
What you get that in you, and then give us another one.
What about a little game on the PlayStation called
Oh, I think this is gonna be on my list.
Metal Gear Solid?
Not on my list.
Not on your list?
Not on my
Okay.
list either.
I have a PlayStation game, but not this one.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't play too much of this game, but I know I watched my friend play a ton of it, and it certainly is a staple for most people. Like, right, I played the NES one. I'm like, I don't get it. Then when it came to PlayStation, it had this like way of doing like cinematic storytelling that I didn't really see with like the cutscenes and stuff, and such a in-depth story. And then I felt like it really boosted that stealth genre of games where you weren't just running in and gunning, right? You had to be sneaky a little bit in there and sneak up on people in order to get through the game. And they certainly blew up with the franchise and had plenty of other Metal Gear games after that. And people loved the franchise. So I felt like that kind of set the staple of like, hey, you can do stealth games too and tell a great story and people are going to enjoy it.
And you know who you have to thank for that? Doom.
Oh, Doom. Doom started it all.
Yeah. But let me ask you a question because I don't know anything about Metal Gear. Is that a first person or third person?
Third person, yeah.
Third person. Okay. And is that kind of like the Halos or Call of Duties?
No, I wouldn't compare it to that because those are more of the run and gun where you're doing the battle, running at.
Oh,
This is like you're in a facility and you got to sneak up behind a guy and grab him. Or if they this what made popular. If you spot it, there's that sound that's like, and then the people are like, and you got to hide. And they're looking for you, and they have like their vision. And if you stand over here, they're not going to see you, and then they go back.
So it's like the original Yiga clan.
Right.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. Talking my language now.
that's a
there you
good
go.
one.
That's what the
That's a
game
good
is
pick,
there.
Russ. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I have a
that's a
buddy
good
that
pick,
loves that one.
Okay, so I can go two ways with this because I can have a answer to both of you guys here. So I'll start with Keith because Keith went first. Keith, to add to your Duck Hunt, another game that revolutionized and changed the game, Wii Sports.
Oh, I like
Okay.
it.
Okay.
It revolutionized sports gaming for the casual player as well as families. It had motion controls, very simple, just the simplicity of it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the light gun. You aim it at the TV and you go bowling, you play
Tennis.
baseball,
Yeah.
tennis. It's one of the best-selling games of all time.
Yep.
Just up there with Tetris. And it introduced games not only to kids but also non-gamers and senior citizens.
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading an article that senior citizens, they would have this in senior citizen homes for, cognitive
Activities.
reasons and activities and things like that. So this is kind of like also the Tetris of that generation because
Right.
it was for all ages, and it really just that's the one thing Nintendo does is they have a way of making these games that just involves everybody. It's all family oriented, and it appeals to non-gamers as well and draws in those people to become gamers essentially. So kudos to Nintendo on Wii Sports. So another one that changed the game.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys have anything to add, or is that pretty much sums it up?
I know we all had a me, right?
Yes.
Make
And
your
we-
me.
And we
Make your
still
me.
do because you
Oh,
have them
in
on the Switch still.
There you go. Go play golf. Was that on there?
Yeah, they had what was the
Boxing?
other game that they had? Didn't they have also
Well, they had the
Music?
Wii Resorts. The
Wii
that was the
Resorts? That's
sequel,
what I'm
yeah.
thinking of. Yep.
So
And they also had the wasn't there one that had it was just the Wii channel or something that had the square that you would hang out with other people that were online.
like a
I
plaza.
forget what it was called. Yeah, like the Wii Plaza or something like that. But yeah, Wii Sports, guys.
Nice.
Oh, good pick.
Nintendo revolutionizing it all through the generations. I'm not going to talk about Switch, so don't worry about that.
Again and again and again.
But Wii Sports, yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna go with Grand Theft Auto 3 because I remember when that came out. I remember going to a friend's house. They had picked it up, going there, sitting on the couch, and then putting it in for the very first time, and me seeing it and him running with that character, getting a car, stealing a car, and taking off on it, and then seeing another car that was really cool and stopping and stealing it and going. And I remember sitting there in that moment, watching Grand Theft Auto 3 for the very, very first time. I can see the couch I was sitting on in my head when I think about it. And I distinctly remember, I think I've mentioned it before, sitting there and thinking, this is going to change everything. Like this, the style, the look, what they were doing with that game, the scope of it. I distinctly remember sitting there and literally thinking, this is going to change the game completely. And with that version of games, it absolutely did, right? It pushed everything forward.
Yeah.
And changed everything. So
I agree.
Grand Theft Auto
And
3.
it was and even to this day, I think back of playing that game the first time, and I'm like, is there an actual thing you have to do in this game? Is there a story, or do you just go around and just steal cars and stuff?
There is, yeah.
Because
there's
that's
totally
all anybody
missions.
did.
Yeah, there's
And you know
missions
what's really
to play through.
You know what's really funny about that game, and it was a known. They did articles on this. Is that people that played that game, they would tend to speed after playing that game and get pulled
just because they
over
were
and get
pumped
tickets.
up, like, and excited about.
Because you're speeding
whatever it
around town, and then you're just like, your brain is just like, yeah. So there was like studies done where it promoted like bad driving behavior.
Nice. Makes sense. That says a few things. I'm going to blame it on Grand Theft Auto for my
It's true.
early
It's true.
20s driving.
Yeah.
I looked up some facts on the game. It said that radio stations with real voice talent in it was in this game.
Yeah.
They had in-game radio featured custom music, commercials, and talk shows voiced by actors and comedians. So that's pretty neat.
I'm surprised nobody mentioned that for soundtracks, actually, because wasn't that known as like a really good game? I mean, because it had real music, right? Or was that Grand Theft Auto 4?
Like that.
I'm trying to remember the one that actually
I think it had real music.
Yeah. I thought it did.
I mean, if we're doing that, then Rock and Roll Racing on the Super Nintendo should have been on our list too, because that's the first time I
should
heard
have been
awesome
How
music.
about Crew Ball?
Right?
Yes. What you got for us, Russ?
What about a little fighting game called Mortal Kombat?
Ooh.
Any particular one?
Let's go to the first one, right? That one has to be the one. Boom! Here's your staple first game, fighting game with fatalities. They one update on Street Fighter to say, you know what? When the fight's done, you could do a little bit more to this guy.
Genesis version had blood.
Right?
Right. All the sensors were freaking out that this stuff was happening.
I'll say it.
Well, that's
added
the thing.
ESRB rating because of that game.
Yep.
Right.
It was the first. What is it? What was the rating? It was like a MA17 or something like that.
Yeah, either M or M17.
Or just MA.
Mature on its only.
I don't know. I have it right here. Let's check it out. Do I have it? Yes. I have. Well, I have Mortal Kombat 2. Where's my Mortal Kombat? Yep. Let's see.
Let's see. Sega Genesis version.
Yeah.
MA17. This is my original copy. Yep. My original copy from when I was a kid. I was not 17. I'll tell you that.
I mean, I remember going up to the Quick Stop, seeing the arcade game, and just still remembering someone playing Scorpion, beating the match, and then all of a sudden he freaking pulls his mask off, and then just burns the guy alive, and he turns into a skeleton. And I was like, "That's crazy! Like we never seen that in Street Fighter before." So
you were so cool if you knew the codes for those, you knew the combinations to do that, and you were at the arcade. You were the cool dude at the arcade because you are performing the fatalities. Everyone's like, "How did you do that?"
Oh yeah,
super cool.
And then even I'd say it had to change the game. It made its own lore with like secret characters in it. With Smoke, you're like, how do you or Reptile? Reptile was in. You could fight Reptile, and you're like, how do we even get this person? And it ended up even spawning the character Noob Saibot because fans loved it so much, and we're coming up with all these theories, and they're like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna make him too.
Yeah, a lot of like fan fiction with that. That. It also sparked the movies as well. So like video game movies. So I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of video game movies before that, but even still, like around that time, you if your video game got a movie, it's pretty good, and it was much better than the Street Fighter movie.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Not by a lot. I don't know if much better is the right term, but I agree with you.
I enjoyed it. Moving on.
Yeah.
I got one that I'm surprised Russ has not mentioned yet. It is for the PlayStation. It is a game called Resident Evil.
Never heard of it.
Never played it.
Never played it.
So I did some research on it.
Okay.
Because I was debating between Resident Evil and Silent Hill.
Okay.
And Resident Evil did come out first.
Okay.
So Resident Evil coined the term survival horror.
Okay.
So they were the originators. It brought in storytelling. It also had inventory management, which was also a first, I guess. So doing all of that, and then it sparked Silent Hill, Last of Us. I mean, all of those survival
Dino
horror
Crisis.
games. Dino Crisis. I mean, there's so many of them, but I guess you can also. I think there was another one that I had read up on, but officially, I guess Resident Evil is the one that coined the term survival horror. So without them, we don't know how. Later survival games, they took a lot from it. So, like I said, inventory management,
Mhm.
Exploration, cinematic stories, things like
Right.
that. So let's see if I have anything else on it. Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean it's just a survival horror like originator. So I'm more of a fan of Silent Hill, but I'm gonna give ups to Resident Evil. I know Russ is more of a Resident Evil guy than Silent Hill, right?
I'm slowly shifting because I'm playing more of the
Oh,
Silent Hill games. We'll see,
interesting.
but
Oh, interesting. What is it that you like between the two? Like, do you find differences?
yeah, I mean, I played more Resident Evil games, like
Mhm.
probably 6 or 7 of those, and I've only played Silent Hill 1 and 2 and the remake
Okay.
of 2, so only 3 so far. So I haven't got to dive much into it there, but that was the first game I was exposed to being a horror game, and I played it at one of my mom's friend's house. She went to one of her friend's house, and her son had the PlayStation. He wasn't
Okay.
home, and they're like, "You can play it." So I popped in that game, and definitely remember where I made it up to the hallway, and the dogs jumped through the window. It's just like like wasn't expecting it.
Mhm.
Definitely got me hooked.
And what do you see as far as differences between the two? Because I'm not familiar with Resident Evil games. I kind of feel like they're very similar, but can you confirm or deconfirm that?
I feel like with Resident Evil, you do have more opportunities to like fight your enemies with various weapons and guns and stuff like that. Where in Silent Hill, you have like a pipe, so it's not as you almost want to dodge more or
Okay.
try to get away from the enemies than to just go in and fight them. So Resident Evil's had a little bit more of that action play with it, and
Mhm.
then that they leaned into that heavily with Resident Evil. I think 5, 6, um, just all action, and they kind of got rid of the survival horror aspect of it, but kind of went back to it a little bit when they came out with 7 and 8, but it was in first person.
Okay.
But now I didn't get to watch the trailer. They have a new Resident Evil coming out that goes back to Resident Evil 2, I believe. And you get to see the
Hmm.
police station all broken down and everything. So
Oh,
people
interesting.
are still enjoying it. There's also new Silent Hill coming out. They're remaking Silent Hill 1, and there's a new Silent Hill called Silent Hill F. So if you like
That one's
horror
been in the
games,
works. Isn't that one been in the works for a very long time too?
I'm not sure how long, but it's been in the
It's been a
works.
while. Didn't they make like a demo or something and then it just like never came to anything? There was like a few years back, they did Silent Hill put out this demo that people were getting real excited about, and it was supposed to
Maybe
be
you're
like
talking about PT,
maybe that's it.
because that was the one that had at the end of the demo, it had what's his name from The Walking Dead turned in,
Maybe
and it
maybe
was
that
his
was
face
it.
or whatever.
Maybe that
But
was
then that
it.
never came to be.
Right, and it was a demo that they released,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Cool. So, Resident Evil for PlayStation, the original survival horror game.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna go with Pac-Man.
Okay.
Pac-Mania.
Pac-Mania.
Well, Pac-Mania or Pac-Man?
Well, no, Pac-Man, which
Okay.
the
Sparked.
first game sparked that wave of Pac-Mania in the arcades and all over the place. Everybody was playing it. Everyone was talking about it. You can literally look it up, and there's like news reports on YouTube of them going to arcades and talking about how it is, ruining children and people are getting addicted to it, and all the screen time isn't good for you. Now look at us. We're all on our phones. There's screen time all the time. Pac-Man was the first game that really pushed all that out and was super, super popular with everybody. There was a song. Someone did a song, a Pac-Man song, right? That's how crazy it is. Oh, and I just lost the light.
Pac-Man fever.
Yep.
So we have Pac-Man
Pac-Man.
to thank for our screen time, which is giving us our podcast.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
So thank you, Pac-Man.
Nice. Do we want to check in with what some people said on our social medias?
Yeah, go for it.
Absolutely.
I do have one more if you want to run through that afterwards.
Yeah. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
What did you say? What did you say?
Springfield, let's hear from you.
All right. Over on our Instagram, we got Gingerbeard, the gaming dad, says, I definitely feel Link to the Past was a game changer with the Super
Mhm.
NES. It showed what the system could do.
Absolutely.
Bryce chimed in. I think the most modern day influential game is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It revolutionized gaming and inspired games for years to come. And we have Zoltan. Depends on POV. Doom might be one of the most influential games. Half-Life did change the way how and which games tell stories. Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy VII, Super Mario Brothers 3, Warcraft 2, so many game-changing games.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Some good points in that too. And then I think we had some on our YouTube. Another Bald Nerd says, not going to mention the real obvious ones, as I'm sure they'll be discussed. I'll go with The Sims and SimCity. Without these games, we wouldn't have games like Roller Coaster Tycoon and Stardew Valley. While these games aren't exactly like The Sims, but clearly take influence from them. In today's gaming space, there are so many simulation games to choose from. Good point for sure.
Yeah.
And again, those games, much like Tetris and like Wii Sports, opens up to like a huge broad audience where gamers, not only just gamers, just regular people, maybe they just play those sim type games and that's it.
Yeah, don't forget about Farmville.
Near Farmville. We got River City Ransom says Shenmue easily. Every person you talk to had multiple lines and were all different. First time seeing weather changing effects. The graphics were revolutionary for the time and honestly still hold up today. Just wish it didn't cost Sega an arm and a leg to make. Maybe we'd have a proper ending right now. Who replied on this here? The only thing Shenmue changed was the implementation of QuickTime events he had in there. Now I just ended up I streamed Shenmue, the first one. Aldo bought me the remaster and has Shenmue 1 and 2. So I played through all of Shenmue and I started Shenmue 2, but I could definitely see it. It came out originally on the Dreamcast and having like you could just browse through the town and there's literally an arcade you can go into and just play the arcade games. So you're playing games within a game. I thought that was like mind-boggling. You're like, okay. and you can talk to all the NPCs and they always had different stuff to say. And like you said, it had weather, it'd be snowing one day, raining and this and that. So I could certainly see people getting into that game. And again, it had a big influence on the Yakuza games if you played that series as well. So certainly good choice there.
Nice.
So I got one last one.
All right, what do we got?
We got to get this. We got to get this one in. So, interestingly enough, Bryce mentioned Breath of the Wild. I am going to mention another Zelda game, and that is our Warpipe rental game, Ocarina of Time. Now, do you guys know why I picked Ocarina of Time out of all the Zelda games?
Because we got hacked on that we said it wasn't something the last time we talked about it.
Well, I did some research, guys. I did some more research. It's the first fully 3D Zelda game. So there would be no Breath of the Wild if it weren't for Ocarina of Time. Let's start off with that. It introduced Z targeting, which is now the standard in third-person action adventure games.
Where it latches.
Yep. And cinematic storytelling. It had that, which, if not for Ocarina, Breath of the Wild, we're talking about Tears of the Kingdom, open world. Open world, another reason why it changed the game. And not to mention it is one of the highest rated video games of all time. And it was and it is currently the blueprint for action adventure video game design. So
Yep. What do you got?
that's what I got. Ocarina of Time. So glad Bryce mentioned that.
Great.
Do you have any more, Keith?
No, I'm done. That's all I got.
Let's see, did I have any in here? I brought up a quick list of some stuff here. Most of you guys mentioned those. Yeah, Pac-Man's on there. Nothing that really stands out. I feel like we hit the nose on a majority of them. I mean, we could probably put like 30 other ones that did small stuff.
Absolutely.
Sure. I tried to just get like different categories of games just to cover
some
our
like
tracks.
RPG, some open world stuff, sports stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's tons like Mario Brothers, the original Legend of Zelda, Final Fantasy. I'm sure you guys have a ton more that we could talk about. Leave it.
NHL 94.
NHL 94. Right? There's a ton.
So many. Yeah. But I think that's good mentioning. I think we covered a good amount of genres, which is great. So, and we go all the way back to the PC games and Atari games and
the Pong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good coverage. Games that changed the game. All right. If you guys want to call into the show and leave us a voicemail, you can do that. We have a voicemail. It's 949-682-9277. That's 949-682-WARP. You'll leave a voicemail about the topic we're talking about, suggest the topic, tell us how awesome we're doing, whatever you want, and then we'll play it on the show. So we got 2 voicemails this week. We'll see who called into the show.
I keep dreaming about my dream phone.
It's for you.
What's up, Weekly Warp Pipe? This is Peter over at Waves and Games. And I know this week we are talking about games that changed the game. The choice for that has to be Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Before that, we had things like Street Skater, which was a downhill racing arcade game. We had 720 Degrees on NES, and we had Skate or Die series. But nothing gave us the control that we felt like we needed in skateboarding games until Tony Hawk came along. Not only did it change the way we controlled games, but it also influenced so many people's taste in music. Think about anyone who played that game and then heard Goldfinger's Superman, and then went on to Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and, May 16th, and No Cigar, and all these great songs that just influenced so many people's musical taste. I just think that the Tony Hawk series truly changed the game in so many ways. That's my answer. Thanks, guys.
Nice. Yeah, that is a good one. And I will say, spot on with that, with the music. Like, that pushed down, like, these are kind of what the people skating or listening to.
Yeah.
And again, before that, you didn't really have, like, I don't know, Skate or Die's okay, right? And they did have 720 in the arcade as well.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, cool, you're on a skateboard, you're just falling. But with Tony Hawk, it's like, oh man, you're in a warehouse. You're going here, and then you have objectives. And I played the heck out of that game, and then Tony Hawk 2. And then that spawned the Skate series, which then took that to another level.
We had
the controls as well.
Games.
Right. Yeah. Then it's like Dave Mara, BMX. Boom. He had Matt Hoffman. So that just rocket shooted all these extreme sports games.
Yeah.
Sweet. Good pick for sure.
What's up, my weekly Warp Pipers? It's your boy NES Addict, and I'm calling because I hear that the subject is games that change the game. I'm not sure if I'm saying it exactly the way the title's written, but the number one game that comes to mind for me is Metroid, taking games from linear to non-linear.
Yep.
Anyway, do yourself a favor and listen to the great song Human by the Human League. It's amazing. All right, guys, take care. See you next week.
I never heard that one before. Human?
Me neither.
Human?
I've heard it before, yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, if you haven't heard it, you could listen now on Spotify because there is an official Weekly Warp Pipe Do Yourself a Favor playlist. We will link it in the description so you guys can listen to all the songs every single week. And we're adding it to every week that Jay gives us a new song.
Nice. Yeah, and I
so
said,
do yourself a favor and go
add
follow the playlist on Spotify.
I was going to say, if you don't have Spotify, I think we'll try to do a YouTube playlist as well, which we can link on our main YouTube channel page. And then you can watch the music videos if they have them.
Even if they don't, I'm sure that there's just audio we can put up there.
Oh, yeah. Like a lyrics video or something like that.
YouTube Music, right? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Vivo's got us covered.
Sounds good. So call into the show if you guys want. We'll play your message on the show. All right, guys. You want to get into some Wheel of Doom action?
Let's go. Spin this and see what happens.
Spin this and see what happens.
Wheel of Doom.
The Wheel of Doom. So we got a bunch of random topics on our Wheel of Doom here. We'll shuffle them up and whatever it lands on. Basically, we're going to talk for about 10 minutes or so.
Figure it out.
Let's give it a spin. Vintage something.
Ooh, this is going to be a good one.
Vintage value versus childhood memories. What makes a toy worth it?
Oh, man. This has kind of gotten me written all over it, huh?
How do we want to approach this? Like me purchasing the toy? Or...
Well, I see it as I'm going to a show, right? Here's the thing. Here's my experience because I do a lot of toy hunting. I don't really go for retro games, but I used to go for retro games a lot. But here's the difference between collecting retro games and collecting toys, or going to cons and looking for retro games and looking for toys. There's not really a definitive value on a given toy. There's no place that, like price charting. We have price charting and it averages things out, right? If you go on eBay and you look up toys, or you go to a con, I'm just going to say this. You're going to see fluctuating prices all over the boards. You're going to go to a show. The vendors are more likely to make deals on toys and give you better prices on toys. There is no definitive book value as there has been with video games. Like, for example, Legend of Zelda gold cartridge. What is that? Like a $30 game about that? But toys, it's all relative. It's all I can tell you a situation where somebody had something marked at $30 and I ended up getting it for $10. And it's just a matter of sometimes there's not a market for certain toys and the obscurity of it. There's more of it. Like when you go game hunting, I feel like it's very specific and very niche of what you're collecting for, right? Like there's certain games that you go after. There might be certain toy lines, but various toy lines do hold various levels of value.
Okay.
So does that make sense? I hope so. If not, I just jibber jabbered for past 5 minutes.
So the value based on the question we're asking.
Yeah.
Pull it up again for me, Russ. Let's see here.
Yeah.
So vintage value being the value of it just to someone that doesn't have childhood memories versus
I would
value
say
of
what somebody's selling it for.
Yeah. And versus childhood memories, what makes a toy worth it? So if I'm willing to pay X amount of money because I have nostalgic childhood memories for it, and that number is up here, but you don't remember it, so you're willing to pay down here. Is that how we're looking at this? Like, or the
I
value of
mean,
it?
you could. I would say based on personal experiences. Okay, here's a perfect example.
Okay.
This past weekend, Tom Ryan was at a convention. He texts me about not even 10 minutes before the con even starts. And he texts me a picture of a vendor that has a glass case full of Mad Balls, Germs. I don't know if you guys remember Germs.
Yep. Yeah.
I forget what else, but there were various different things of Mad Balls. So there was also head poppers in there. There were different like vintage Mad Balls, newer Mad Balls, 2000 X Mad Balls, and she had values on them. She had prices on them. I'll say she had a head popper priced at about $140. It has the clip, which for those that don't know, the head poppers have a head that would pop onto the body, and you would clip a button and it would pop off, right? But a lot of the times that little clip that clips it in and holds the head on there is
breaks
broken off, so you can't put the head on. $140 I feel is overpriced. However, here's the thing. At the Shop the Curiosity show, I found a Slobulus head popper. Has the clip. He had it at $150. Now, Keith, Russ, this is a question for you. I ended up paying $100 for it.
Okay.
$50 off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would that happen with a video game?
Probably not.
Yeah, it depends if how big you are on YouTube and they want to hook you up, essentially.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you were just Joe Schmo trying to get on there, I feel like
Right.
that's hard to come down that much in the price.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say.
So I feel that toys have a different value, right? So I feel there's more movement with it. And pop up that question one more time.
Yeah.
What makes a toy worth it? Now, would I have spent $150 on it? Maybe. Maybe. It would have had some convincing to do with me. But you go to a con, you got to do negotiating, right? So I kind of put that aside a little bit and said, okay, well, I'm gonna try to get it for a little bit cheaper.
Mhm.
But in my head, that nostalgia did hit me when it came to the toy.
Yeah.
Right,
So-
because you see it and you're like, I remember that. So then you're more
Right.
inclined to purchase the toy or at
Right.
least make an offer on it because you grew up with that rather than someone who didn't really play Mad
Right.
Balls or collect them. And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, $150? You're like, that seems like a lot. Like I never even heard of this toy before.
Right. But now when it comes to video games though, would you guys pay 50, like let's say he had it priced at 100, like saying that I would pay 150.
Mhm.
If you had a game that was worth $100, would you pay 150 for it? If you had that option?
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of things would, I guess,
Would you
come into
overpay
effect.
for it? Yeah.
You're like, have you
Yeah.
been searching it for a while? Do you not see this game at conventions often?
Mhm.
So you might miss this
But if
opportunity.
you had childhood memories of it, so how I'm thinking on this is, so I didn't have Mad Balls. I had one Mad Ball. So
Okay.
if me and Dave were both standing at a booth and there was Mad Balls behind the counter and Dave has memories of them, he's gonna pay for the childhood memories one. I would pay for the value, but would I buy it? Probably not. Would he on top of me because of those memories? Yes. And would it be worth it for him? Probably. Would it be worth it for me to buy it? Maybe if I was a reseller and was buying it and waiting for it to go up and trying to make some money on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more worth it to have those childhood memories than to have just be the value of the item, right?
Right.
I would
So
say
here,
it,
go ahead, Russ.
I would say it also plays into almost that impulse buy, right? You
Yeah.
see that item and you're like, oh, dude, remember Mad Balls? Remember the poppers?
Right.
Dude,
Yeah.
I had this one growing up, and you're like, $150. Oh, yeah, too bad. Maybe it'll come down a little bit. I don't know.
Right.
And for your average person, yeah, they're totally
Yeah.
gonna impulse buy. That happens with video games too, right? They'll see it and they'll pay whatever because they have a memory of it.
Well, so funny you should mention that because I've been on the hunt. So I have a complete in box Mega Man 3, and that's one of my games from my childhood. And so I'm trying to have all of the complete in box games of the games that I had in my hands when I was growing up, right? However, the box is very beat up. I definitely want an upgrade, and I'm willing to part with that one, no problem, no questions asked. So to flip the script a little bit, if I go to a con, now even if I didn't have that current copy, I already know what the book value is of it. I would not overpay for that, even though I have those childhood memories of that game. Does that make sense?
Like you're like a hold off for a decent price or what the current
Right.
value is. I'll either pay that or below. I'm not going to pay $50 more just because I
Right.
found it.
Because it's already got this kind of market value. So that's the
Mhm.
difference between toys and video games.
But your
So
average Joe that walks into a convention, Barry decides he's gonna take his 12-year-old kid to a video game convention because his son loves video games and Barry remembers playing video games and having toys in the 80s. So he gets there, he's walking around, he has no idea price charting even exists. He doesn't buy stuff on eBay, he doesn't know. He walks up to a booth and he sees an item that he had as a kid and it is overpriced. He might, like Russ said, impulse buy that right there so he can share it with his son. And he'll pay more because he has that childhood connection. And it is worth it to him. It's worth it to pay more because he doesn't even know the value, right? So that might push your average Joe that isn't in the community, isn't out there at these conventions all the time, doesn't have that knowledge. The vintage value for him is those childhood memories, and he's going to pay it. He'll pay $40 more. He could pay $50 more because he wants to experience that nostalgia and have that feeling again, right?
Yeah.
So, and to that person, not knowing what the price charting value is or what eBay last sold for is on that He-Man toy that he grabs and buys, totally worth it because he's getting the memories from it, right?
Sure. So bring up that question one more time. Let's
wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Vintage value versus childhood memories. What makes a toy worth it? Nostalgia. I mean,
yeah, I feel like the
it's
memories
nostalgia.
are worth $1 million.
Yes. Because I do go to a lot of toy shows, and if something doesn't look familiar or is very interesting to me, I will probably pass it. Like GI Joes, I have no connection to GI Joes whatsoever. I will overlook those. You can offer me like an entire bin of GI Joes for $10, and I probably wouldn't take it because I have no interest in it whatsoever. So, childhood memories, yeah, I'd say
I
so.
would say childhood memories make it worth it because I would stop at the GI Joe bin.
I'm like, give me that for $10. I'll take it.
Absolutely. Would be getting.
I can't wait for me and Keith to go to Toy Federation.
Fair enough. Nice. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out to the very end of the podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Again, we are taking a week off next week, so you guys get a little break from us, but you do get the Rent, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. You got 2 weeks to play that game to when we return, and we'll be able to discuss it. What are we going to be talking about on the next episode, though?
Well, the next episode, we're going to be having a special guest, and our special guest did pick Zelda Ocarina of Time to play for the Warpipe rental. And our special guest is Bryce.
Bryce JW on YouTube and Instagram. Definitely check him out. And he picked for our topic 2 weeks from now, he picked being a part of the retro gaming community, which he is a very big part of. We'll see him at Siege. He's very excited. And I'm excited to have him on and get to visit and talk about this because we are all part of the retro gaming and, like we're talking retro toys and stuff like that. So it'll be an interesting conversation.
And especially getting into the con season where we're going to see a lot of our retro game community. It's going to be great conversation to have. And especially right around the corner is Siege. So we're all going to be together. So Bryce, we'll see you in a couple weeks on the show. And I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Exciting.
Excellent, guys. All right. If you guys want to check out our stuff, we have our own channels, which you could follow us. Keith, where can we find you?
Retro Cart Collector on YouTube, Retro Cart Collector on Instagram. New video every Sunday. Check me out and see what I'm doing. See how my Nintendo collection's going. Dave, what about you?
Well, I know that the Nintendo collection is about to get a little bit bigger for you. And you can check me out on YouTube. Dave, it's me. There it is. I'm trying to do videos every Sunday, which has been working out so far. So new video this Sunday as well. And on Instagram, it's david.apuzo. I should really just change everything over, but we're not there just quite yet. And how about you, Russ?
You could check me on Russ Lyman, but I also started my new retro gaming channel, which is Russly, Russly. I've been uploading a ton of videos on there and live streaming every Wednesday night, 8 to 10. Most likely, I'll probably be playing Ocarina of Time Wednesday for a few hours. We'll see how that goes. If you guys want to tune in to that, that'd be cool. And then, of course, you could catch us here on the weekly Warp Pipe. And hey, quick shout out, of course, to our channel members on YouTube supporting us here. Let's see where we got. We got Retroholic 16, Bryce JW, Austin Mills, Fox Driven Retro, and the Wizard J. They are the Warp Pipe rental employee tier. That's $3 a month. You get a shout out here. But you also support us for $1 a month if you like what you hear on the weekly Warp Pipe.
And the $1 a month will also get you the live streams.
Yep, we'll be doing once a month exclusive live streams. Cool, guys. That's it for the Warp Pipe. Thanks for jumping in with us, and we'll see you on the next level.